Green and Morton pull off the biggest Easter comeback since Jesus to overcome East Fife in extra time. It's a bumper at Fransisco. Montrose come out 4-2 winners. 4-1 needs penalties to CF Edinburgh City. And it's not firm in round 4 of the Scottish Cup. And Hampden will have fans. It's episode 16 of the False United podcast.
And the Fransisco Aluear game's just kicked off and we're all watching that.
With me this week, we have Andy, Marcus and Carl. How are we doing tonight, guys?
I'm very good. I've got my pint ready for some entertainment.
So I might pour myself a rum in a bit, but it's all good, my man.
I've got myself a Dr. Pepper because I'm driving the night.
Oh no! Is that your staunch rum you've got? Your 55 rum you've got?
No, it's not came yet. I've ordered 2 of them. I'm currently drinking some Dead Man's Fingers at the moment.
All right.
Very good rum. I do recommend to the viewers.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm drinking a pint of Moretti. If anyone.
Oh yes, very nice, very nice.
Very good beer.
Very good.
We'll start with the big Scottish Cup games of the weekend, but we're going to start with the Sunday game between Rangers and Cove Rangers.
Are we starting with that?
Start with that one.
Okay. So the result of that was Rangers 4, Cove Rangers 0. Goals coming from Defoe, 2 from Roof, and 1 from Nathan Patterson. I'm just going to quickly give my summary for that. I thought. At the start of the game, for the opening of the games, I thought Scott Wright was very, very impressive. Just to say, he's putting a lot of effort to try and get into that starting 11. And Gerard has came out and said that he is going to be a key player for next season, and I hope he continues his form and does what it does well, to be honest. But yeah, the first goal coming from Defoe, it was a very good, classy Defoe finish from the edge of the box. Had a strike and keeper with no chance. It was a classy Jermaine Defoe finish, which was good to see him starting and obviously getting the goal as well. Rangers obviously continued to dominate the game, and the second came from Roof. Got himself into a good position. Keeper parried it and it came straight to Roof, which is a simple goal from Roof, which you see Roof being getting in those good positions recently as well. Another one from Roof as well. It was a really good work from Scott Wright. Excuse me, I've got a really bad throat at the moment. Scott Wright played a really inviting ball into the middles. Again, Roof in a really good position and scored quite an easy goal as well, which is good to see Roof obviously getting a couple of goals behind them as well. For his confidence as well, will be good for him. And then the last one came from Nathan Patterson, which was really good pressing play from Rangers. Obviously, they got caught at the back. And Patterson ran in on the player with his pace and stole it off him and scored, which was good to see. Obviously, Nathan as well getting a goal as well. But it was quite a dominating performance in the first half. Second half, I thought we took the foot off the gas a wee bit. Excuse me. But still continued to dominate play, and we got some players in that wouldn't normally get game time as well. So it's good to get them a run about as well. But definitely man of the match for me was 100% Scott Wright. He put in effort, and I think he's definitely worth a start in the next couple of games.
Who comes out the starting 11 then for Wright if you were to put him in?
I don't know, because obviously all the players have been very good, but
yeah,
we'll see what happens. Like if we get any offers in from like our wide players, but I think he'll be quite a really good player as well, but he definitely challenged like Ken and Hadji on the wings.
Sure, yeah. I was thinking that would be a difficult one because you've got Kent Hadji, Aribo, who are, sometimes plays midfield, but he can also play out wide as well. It's hard to kind of fit right in if you had to shove him in somewhere in the starting 11. But that's a good position to be in.
I reckon as well. Rangers will have Champions League games next season, at least the qualifying games.
Yes, that's another really good point.
He would be able to I think, rotating with Kent and Hadji, they'll be able to fit him in.
And then those both players know as well that any mistake or any any niggles they don't play well or that, then
they have a quiet game.
They've got a player of Scott Wright to come on and replace him, and he's been so far. Scott Wright's been really good, really given the impact that he his player profile shows in Aberdeen.
Yeah.
So can't really fault him.
It's definitely a good game to kind of run him out in against League One opposition, but once it does give him an opportunity to show what he's about, and he definitely showed that.
Yeah, he showed what he did, what he could do at Aberdeen, but I think like he's lost quite a lot of weight with the Rangers training. I think it was about 3 something. He's lost quite a lot. But no, like you can see that he's raised his game up a bit as well. Playing for Rangers, you could. It's just
He's improved physically.
He's improved physically, and he's improved. And you can see that on the pitch.
Mm.
Well,
I really like it so far.
In the next round, they'll face Celtic.
Oh yeah, the easiest tie we could ask for, you know.
Who came out?
No,
yeah.
I was watching it, and I had a hunch that I was actually really nervous when the draw started. I was like, oh, I've got a funny feeling we're going to get them.
I'm very excited for a non-semi or final Old
Yeah,
Firm game.
Yeah, I've been like hoping every time there's a draw, I just always hope Celtic and Rangers get each other early on, and it's finally happened, and it's about time. You know,
I don't know when the last time that we met Celtic in the early stages.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean I can't remember it in the past few years. I don't know, maybe sometime in the 2000s where I couldn't remember, but yeah, sure.
But no, it'll be interesting to watch as well, because obviously Celtic need this cup to sort of have their season finish on a high, and then we need this cup as well for a double. So it's going to be a really interesting tie, a lot at stake. So it's probably one of the whole season. This is probably one of the most important Old Firms, one of them.
Yeah.
The Celtic came out 3-0 winners against Falkirk, and I think kind of opposite to Rangers, they had a quiet first half, and they kind of came out in the second, scored 3 times. But I'm sure that everyone's seen the tweet that Falkirk put out in the first half.
Aye.
Oh, that was shithouse.
Ryan Christie shoots from range, and well, you know the rest.
It was funny,
and
but
then he only went and scored a goal from long range, didn't he?
Aye, Celtic got the last laugh with that, I think.
Exactly, yeah. But it was, I think Ryan Christie had quite a few shots from range, because Celtic had 42 shots in that match.
Wow.
9 on target.
Oh.
Yeah, goals from Forrest, Christie, and El Yunusi, seeing through to the next round.
El Yunusi has to be tied down on a permanent.
Yeah,
it's just if the board don't do that, then
yeah. How much do you think? So, do you think that's realistic though? Because I don't know. Like he's still on loan from Southampton. You don't know what kind of fee they're going to ask. You know, they might see
a loan player.
Yeah, he's still on loan from
he was
Southampton.
on a 2-year loan. Aye.
So Southampton might be looking at it. I don't know what the situation is like for wingers. You know, for them, but like if they're looking at how well he's doing, they might just be thinking, "Oh well, you know, we'll keep him." Like
I know.
It's really
from my perspective as well, right? Obviously, as a Rangers fan, but I genuinely think that obviously Celtic need a rebuild of the whole team. But I genuinely think if he's going to stay on a permanent, that Celtic should build the team around him.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's
Edward.
Been our most consistent player in these crap. He's the only one that's really performed to his ability.
He was quite quiet at the start of the season.
Yeah, he's picked. No, in the European qualifiers, he was quite impressive. And then he died down a bit, but I think he's shown his money's worth now.
Yeah,
so I think we need to spend big and procure him.
He's still got a year left on his Southampton contract. I've just googled that now.
Okay.
Which means his value's not exactly the highest then. It's better reduced value if he's going into the end of his contract.
So.
Yeah. And if Southampton really decide they want to keep him, which I don't know how likely.
Who's he up against in the Wales in Southampton? I don't.
Yeah, let me have a quick look. I don't really watch the Premier League nowadays, but
I don't really.
The PR league.
Yeah. Let me see. Southampton.
So, got some reports saying that it's uncertain that Celtic will make him permanent because.
Oh really?
Ralph Hasenhüttl wants to have a look at him over pre-season.
Oh well.
Ralph Hasenhüttl can bugger off. I mean, also it depends on who the manager at Celtic comes in, because obviously the Eddie Howe reports are now looking further and further away from happening.
You've got the likes of Theo Walcott, Nathan Redmond, Musa Jenipo.
But then if you
playing the
remember,
wings.
the Walcott and also Takumi Minamino are on loan, so
okay, yeah,
to Southampton. So it could be a possibility that El Yunusi will have to return.
Yeah. It's a shame,
Well, the club's recruitment.
It's a shame. He really raises the quality of the Scottish League as well. It's good.
Fantastic, but okay.
The way Celtic's recruitment's been as well, like if they are forced to get a replacement in, you don't know how, that could turn out, because more often than not, you're signing flops kind of recently.
But yeah, I think
so.
you've seen how El Yunusi plays for Celtic, then I think it's obvious that he's probably going to be one of the top targets for Celtic this upcoming summer.
I'll probably set you back about 7-8 mil, I'd imagine, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Probably some of that kind of figure.
I think it was 16 million for him.
Jeez, well,
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He signed from Basel, who are in a bit of a free fall at the moment, actually. Not been doing too fantastic at all.
Well, depends if Southampton really don't want to make a loss in there. But yeah, no.
We'll move on to Monday night's game, which was Queen of the South against Hibs. Marcus, this is yours.
Yes. I properly enjoyed this game. It's the first kind of game in a while that I really enjoyed in terms of like the style of play that was on show. It wasn't just like you expect coming to these smaller teams, a lot of the time they make the game really tight. The pitch didn't help as well. I mean, a lot of Hibs fans have been saying it was probably one of the worst we've seen. So that definitely didn't help. You'd expect Queen of the South to be tight, all this, all the cliches. You're going to have to grind it out. But actually, it was a really impressive, maybe 70 minutes of football from Hibs. The first kind of 10, 20 minutes, you could tell we were still adjusting to the pitch. A lot of passes just kind of going wayward. Not much happening in the game. Actually, Queen of the South in the first sort of 20 minutes had the best chance with Dobby, but he skied it. So then you're thinking, the amount of times Hibs have this season struggled. I mean, we struggled in the Betfred Cup games against like the likes of Cove Rangers and Brora as well, who we both ended up beating still, but weren't the best games of football necessarily to watch. But after I think it was Martin Boyle had that shot that was just just about saved. He really should have done better, but it was after that we just started to turn it on. And honestly, the only word I can use is relentless. It was just wave after wave of attack, honestly, non-stop. And the goal before halftime helped. Good Deutsch to get another goal. He's got a lot of stick this season, so good. Him in the score sheet as well. Also, I think one of his former teammates, Inapalves, has died. So, what I was seeing, he had to dedicate that celebration to him. So, you got to be happy for Deutsch for that. And then the second half, like I said, just relentless. Wave after wave after wave of attack. You could tell Newell and Irvin were both, as a midfield too, they were playing a lot higher. And Queen of the South just couldn't cope. And then eventually it's we're on the counter-attack. They've actually had a penalty shout, which it wasn't a penalty because I can't mind the player that was defending, but he literally just puts his hand on Dobby's chest and he
I think it was
falls
Neil,
over.
wasn't it?
I know Newell played the pass through for Deutsch, but no, it wasn't a penalty. No chance. He just puts his hand on his chest and he falls over. But Newell plays one of the sexiest through balls you'll ever see in football through to Deutsch. And the thing is with Deutsch is he's so rubbish for one-on-ones. Like he always misses these kind of easy one-on-ones, but he actually puts in a really, really nice finish. And it's 2-0, and for there, we literally, Martin Boyle goes and scores 2 minutes later, or 3 minutes later. It wasn't even, it's like we were literally, they were lining up to score our players. They were all getting in positions. Doig had a couple shots. Irvin, I think, had a chance. It's, and then their goal literally comes for the fact that all our players are up the park and there's nobody back helping Hanlon. I didn't even really blame Hanlon for that goal. There's nobody helping him. But still, it was such a dominant performance. It was. I know it is only Queen of the South as well, but they've proved difficult for other teams, other big teams,
Other Edinburgh teams,
other certain big Edinburgh, quote unquote big Edinburgh teams. So the fact we've gone and breezed past them, I'm really happy with. And Stranraer should. I mean, they're League Two. I mean, we should be beating them, no questions asked, to be honest. So, yeah, pretty happy with that.
I felt like I watched the highlights of this one. I felt like Hibs just had the shackles off, the shackles of the pressure of finishing third. They were just kind of off, and they just went for it, and it was just insane.
Yeah, as Jose Mourinho would say, the horse. What did he say? Lets the horses run free. Properly. Jack Ross would have said to Newell and Irvin, we're playing Queen of the South. We've got this game. Get forward, because they were so deep the first half. But Newell, I mean, Irvin especially, he was basically playing as a second striker, Irvin. well, a third striker, I guess, because we had obviously we started with Doidge and Nisbet up top, but no, I mean, you couldn't ask for more really. We showed our Premiership quality, stamped our authority down. Took like I said, took us a wee bit to get into the game. A bit nervy at the start, but after that, we stamped our authority in the game. Queen of the South never had a shout in. They scored a good goal, but apart from that, honestly, we fully deserved the win. No questions about it. So I.
Yeah, I'm going to cover quickly some of the other games of the Cup. It was a very dramatic game at Forfar where it was started very quickly with Uzi Say giving the lead to Edinburgh City, then an equaliser from Jordan Allen just 7 minutes later, and then Lee Hamilton's overhead kick gave Edinburgh City the lead, and that lead held until the 94th minute when Roberto and DT scored for Forfar, bringing the game into extra time. Hamish Thompson was sent off for Forfar in that extra time, and then the game went to penalties where I think it was Craig Thompson with the poor penalty that was saved. Led to Forfar going through, which was really fun penalty shootout to watch actually.
It's a shame.
I did say it would be a tight game.
Yeah, I mean, Forfar at the bottom of League 2 and Edinburgh City near the top of... Sorry, the Forfar near the bottom of League 1 and Edinburgh City near the top of League 2. They're kind of like teams on the same level in a way, so...
Yeah, did you not predict like a 3-0 win? All you predicted 3-0 for Edinburgh City.
I think we all said City to win.
Ooh.
I said 3-0 City. The results have come to haunt me.
We'll soon find out later. Yeah, you predicted 3-0.
Really? Did that? Oh.
Yes.
Well, I was obviously overconfident then.
I said 1-0 Forfar.
Fair.
And,
easy point.
Talking of late goals, East Fife, who took the lead through Kevin Smith in the 60th minute, were pegged back in the 91st minute with a penalty from Greenock, with a handball that did look a bit dodgy, to be honest. I don't think it actually hit his hand. Looking at the highlights, I couldn't actually see clearly. But McGinty put it away, and Muirhead won the tie in extra time with a good finish. There were other games. The highlights for the Fraserburgh Montrose game were also quite interesting to watch. An insane overhead kick from Russell McLean put Montrose 3-2 up, and then they eventually won the tie 4-2.
Our Fraserburgh Highland League, yes, that might sound really stupid.
Yeah,
they're. Aye, and Montrose are League One, so.
League One, yes,
Oh, that's still a good like kind of split in divisions. It's good. It's a good game and came out of it. So
they did
proper cup tie.
Put up a good fight. They were 2-1 up at one point as well. So watching again, just watch the highlights for this one, but they were quite impressive. They went down early to a second-minute goal, and then scored 2 in quick succession to put them 2-1 up. So it was probably a really good game. Even to be involved in, and there were easy wins for Kilmarnock. Fun game between Livingston and Wraith Rovers. It was 2-1 in extra time. Again, this is similar to the Forfar Edinburgh City game where you've got Wraith Rovers who are the top of the Championship, and Livingston.
If anyone's seen the highlights of Wraith the past few weeks, they do look like a Premiership team. I mean, they've got ambitions of coming up. They'll and in terms of a test, I mean. Livingston went through in the end, but in terms of a test of, are we good enough for the Premiership? I think Wraith would be. I think they'd give.
They took them to extra time.
If it's like Hamilton, and Wraith in a playoff final, I think.
I see Wraith sneaking it. Yeah, especially
put your money on Wraith. Aye.
They're going to be.
I put my money on Hamilton because Hamilton always find a way to stay up.
Hamilton don't even look like they're playing any good, they've kind of.
But they can though. They can just flick a switch.
They can, but still, the smart money would be in Wraith because they're just playing really good football in a minute.
True.
109th minute winner from Matej. This is the false pronunciation podcast here. Plotlatnik.
Platnik.
Yeah. Again, it was also a simple win for St Mirren over Hamilton. 3-0 win. Dominant performance.
But according to Brian Rice, as much as I do like Brian Rice, first, obviously before my time at Hibs, but my granddad speaks really highly of him for his time at Hibs, though. But him saying that's never a 3-0 game, the rant he had after. I don't know if anyone else has seen it, but I think he's obviously frustrated at the result, and that's kind of just come out in the interview. But I mean, come on, you're the bottom of the league for a reason. All the media speculation about Hamilton and I don't know, he says there's double standards and all that. I mean, it's expected when you are bottom of the league and you've just been beat 3-0 in a cup tie. I can see them going down, to be honest, at this rate. Like I said, if it was a team like Wraith up against them, I think Wraith would win it. And that's still with all due respect to Brian Rice, but
Motherwell breezed past Full Martin 5-0.
Yeah.
Dundee United also won 2-1 against Partick. St Johnstone won 1-0 against Dundee, and the fairy tale that is Brewer Rangers, they were knocked out in extra time against Stranraer, which is a shame really, because they beat Hearts. But it was 3.
We would have had an Edinburgh derby if only Hearts had gotten past the mighty Brewer Rangers.
Yeah. Past Stranraer as well.
Aye.
Brewer did take the lead through the penalty, but it was an 88th minute equaliser from Stranraer, and then they took that momentum into extra time, scored 2 goals in extra time to win the tie 3-1. Clyde beat Ayr 1-0, and Aberdeen squeaked past Dumbarton 1-0.
Yeah, I've seen the highlights of that. Like that keeper.
That was a disgustingly bad game.
I didn't see it. It was classic like Aberdeen Dundee United game then.
It's a waste of time if you watched it.
It was just Aberdeen had about 50 chances on goal, scudded all of them. The Dumbarton keeper had.
Wonder why?
Because
Aberdeen, canny kick a jelly bean.
They're quite hard to kick.
Dumbarton keeper had some game, but no, I think after watching that, like any Hibs fan that's genuinely worried about thirds, like if it's Aberdeen.
No,
at this point, genuinely, like Aberdeen are shocking.
And the result from Friday night was Inverness winning the Highland Derby over Ross County.
I was surprised by that, by the way.
Yeah,
I put Cali Thistle to win.
You did.
I did. It was
Cali Thistle just dominated, didn't they? Had some game.
Yeah.
Scott Allen pulling the strings.
Scott Allen was quite impressive in this game actually.
He plays from Dumbarton now, does he?
Sorry?
Does he play from Dumbarton now, does he?
No, he plays for Cali.
Cali Thistle.
Cali.
On loan,
yeah.
He's on loan just for game time.
All right.
He's shown that he's obviously Scott Allen is way too good for that level of football though, for like a championship team. I know it's still Ross County, but they're at the bottom end of the Premiership. I mean,
I think that's
Scotland's just like a class above.
It doesn't really seem bad that they've lost here, because I think they're trying to fight that relegation battle. That's more of a priority than the cup.
It is the derby though. I mean, for a derby performance, it was really poor for County. They just never looked in it, apart from their goal. It was a really even game up until County scored, and then after that, it was all Inverness.
Scott Allen rampant, didn't he?
He really did.
He didn't get on the score sheet, but he did. I think it was a couple of assists he got, didn't he?
But he was putting away the kind of passes that you'd expect from him. The lovely wee through balls, and his movement as well, just brilliant.
It does look like if you see that the rest of the season without any problems, that once next season it's going to be key for Hibs next season, I think.
Yeah, I'll put it this way: the way he played yesterday, anyone that's worried about his fitness or anything starting for Hibs, that just shows you that he's good enough to be starting for a club like us, with our ambitions. So, more than happy.
Well, hopefully next season we'll be able to see Scott Allen and the rest of Scottish football in person, because
hope so.
It has been approved that Hampden will have fans for the Euros.
Does it not say full fans?
25% capacity.
Between 25
so
and 30,
about 12,000, 13,000 fans.
Me and a pal have got tickets for the Czech Republic game. So, or I can't mind. It's either the Czech Republic one or the Croatia one. It's one of them. But
no way! How did you get tickets? Those things sold out like wildfire.
No, I didn't get any.
I tell you what, I say I got it. It's a pal that basically offered me a ticket. So, I don't know, but obviously it'll be a ballot or something, won't it? So I doubt I'll be going there.
Yeah,
it's what, a 25% chance or whatever or less. So we'll see.
So 8 of the 12 stadiums for the Euros will have fans. So Hampden's going to have 25 to 33%. That's the same as Amsterdam, Bucharest, and Copenhagen. London will have 25% for Wembley, but obviously Wembley's a huge stadium. St. Petersburg will have over 50%. Baku will have 50%, and Budapest is hoping to have a full stadiums.
Wow.
Nice.
So I take it for that, I'm guessing that each country gets to decide.
Yeah, so each country decides.
Okay.
And
Because it sounds like the countries that are more lax with their rules, like Hungary and Russia, have obviously got their. Hungary.
So basically have to submit to UEFA what their plans are and how they're able to do that. So
Aye.
you have to see now. But there are.
So you got 100% capacity, doesn't he?
Oh, 1-0 Hearts.
Off. That doesn't sound safe at all. I don't think it's time for 100% capacity. I can agree with.
I don't know what the numbers
50%
are like in
at
Hungary,
most, but
they did hope.
Hungary is
Well,
not dealing with COVID particularly.
Knowing how Viktor Orban is, it's probably
Yeah.
know that we're a political podcast, but knowing how Viktor Orban runs his country, probably doesn't care that much about
Yeah.
COVID.
He just wants to be known as the one country who did full capacity during the Euros.
As long as his pals are getting paid, I think he's absolutely fine. So.
Well, Budapest did host fans for the UEFA Super.
Oh, what a finish, by the way!
Good pass by Halliday as well.
That is a good finish for voice, I will say. Yeah.
Hungary did host fans for the UEFA Super Cup between Bayern and Sevilla back in September, and they've hosted games behind closed doors for different restrictions. I think they hosted the Liverpool games in the Champions League as well. But there are places that at the moment will not have fans. So Rome is yet to say, as well as Dublin, Munich, and Bilbao. They're yet to say, and I think
Dublin are looking in the worst shape. Actually, the government think they might just lose their. So if UEFA basically, if you can't host fans at all, you're sort of potentially losing your
it's the same
your slot
with Bilbao as well. Looking at what the Basque health authorities have said are their conditions to host people at the games. It looks like they won't be hosting as well.
I don't know how they'll do it because I've seen they had a festival in Spain, but they allow people in with vaccine passports. So I don't know if they'll do that. I don't know if that's under the Spanish government's authority or the Basque government decides that, but that could be an option.
So there's potentially, if Dublin loses its games, they're potentially looking at hosting them in Edinburgh at Murrayfield.
Class. Brilliant. The Irish games.
I was going to bring that up, actually, that they're looking to bring games to Murrayfield. They're probably going to put more extra ones at Wembley, maybe extra ones in England as well.
That'd be brilliant.
If Dublin...
As well, Scottish Cup final will be played at Murrayfield, potentially, this season, because Hampden will be being put up all the Euro propaganda and stuff in the summer, so it won't be available for the Scottish Cup.
But there will be no fans at the Scottish Cup. So I think the first game with fans will be Scotland's games at the Euros, and then...
But they announced that Hampden wouldn't have fans because of all the stuff with the Euros, but then it's Edinburgh, Murrayfield is an easy option. That's the first I'm hearing of it, Andy. It seems the sensible option, but that's no. All I've seen online is that
So they've got a bigger capacity than Hampden, no?
Yeah, 67,000.
So you can space people out more.
Yeah,
and it's in a much nicer city.
Get a higher percentage of fans.
And it's got a far better atmosphere for games than Hampden does. Hampden is a bit of a stinker.
Yeah,
you're so far away from the pitch as a fan.
Well, you'd still be technically far away from the pitch at Murrayfield. I mean, because if you've seen, I mind when Celtic and Hearts played there, because it's a rugby pitch. Obviously, that the goals were a wee bit further at the side. It's not as bad though. I mean,
Murrayfield has hosted quite a few.
I mean, I don't know why we just don't use it anyway.
They've hosted Hearts games when they've been redoing the stadium, and also
I was there for a Hibs game. We played Barcelona in a friendly.
Yeah, back in 2000.
I was there
for Callum McGregor's debut against KR Reykjavik in 2014.
Wow. The thing is, I don't know why don't they just use it for football anyway? Because we're rugby, Edinburgh rugby don't even play there anymore. And
no, they play. They've got a purpose-built stadium on the Murrayfield campus.
And Scotland only play there 6 times a year. Why don't we just use it for football more often?
As with Twickenham in London, is that the rugby authorities don't like football being played there. But obviously,
Yeah,
No, but the
undermines
thing,
rugby.
what rugby fans always say to that is, oh, well, we don't have a problem with football being played there. It's actually apparently the SFA because they want as much of it at Hampden as possible. So
Yeah.
apparently it's not even like the SRU are fine with it. It's just the problem's the SFA, which I don't disbelieve. Completely,
Hampden's just a horrible stadium.
it is.
It's
Murrayfield
it's
should be the national
derelict.
stadium. That's my hot take. Murrayfield should be the national stadium.
There's a huge debate about building another stadium. I'm so biased towards Edinburgh that just have it in the capital, have it at Murrayfield, which is a beautiful stadium. Better transport links as well.
Mm.
Like I know we're
it's so
all
much
complaining.
easier.
At the
about-
worst, just jump it between the two like they do in Spain and Germany.
I know, and then for the smaller games, have it Easter Road, Tynecastle, or
Knock down Mac and Cheese Shack and put it in Livy, which is halfway between them both.
I think Levy's close to
Well, you need it in a
Murrayfield,
big
yeah.
city though. There's people saying build it in Stirling, but the thing is, if you've got
no.
if you've got a 70 odd capacity ground, is that a penalty harsh? Oh jeez. If you've got a 70 capacity ground, so you've got 70,000 fans coming through to a town that's 30,000 people. That doesn't make sense. Like you need the bars and restaurants and all that of a big city like Glasgow or Edinburgh. So it needs to be in Edinburgh, Glasgow. So Murrayfield is the only option that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Like if you had to change it
I
and
think
save
as well
yourself
as
building a new ground
Murrayfield
as
is-
well.
I think-
And nobody plays at Murrayfield hardly because, like I said, they only have the rugby when they've got the autumn tests and the Six Nations.
Yeah, I think
So that seemed pretty easy to do for me.
I think as well as Murray can
yes, you know.
Murrayfield can handle the fans more because I don't know about anyone else, but me, Marcus, and Andy, we've been to Hampden twice as a three, and it's just so difficult to get away from there once the game's finished.
Yeah.
But
But, like-
Murrayfield it's a lot more easier because you've got buses, you've got trams, and
But exactly, there's the
walk to the
scarcely used trams right on the doorstep. It's perfect.
I mean,
It's perfect for football
nearest,
fans.
the nearest station is like Mount Florida to.
Yeah, Mount Florida.
That's
aye.
that's
trek.
a pain.
And that's a 15-minute walk still.
It's a 15-minute walk, and it
Even
gets
then,
absolutely rammed. The
even
buses
if you
are
wanted to walk
awful.
through Murrayfield to Haymarket, that's not even that bad. That's what, like
15 minutes. I mean, I live,
Yeah,
I live
yeah.
both,
20
near both
minutes.
of them. You can walk to them within 15 minutes. Like,
And then if you really need to, you can get the tram to Waverley. Like it's just so much simpler. Makes so much more sense than having it at
100%.
Glasgow, where you're an hour walk away from a train station if you can't get a tube or whatever if it's rammed. So
Yeah, 100%.
anyway, yeah.
anyway, yeah. So the games could be at Murrayfield. Edinburgh could be having the Euros, which is a
Hopefully.
possibility, and it would be very fun.
I think we were a bit optimistic thinking that Alloa would actually do anything. I think they are bottom of the league, are they not, in the Championship?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh well.
18,
I mean,
18 from 23.
Since when has that stopped Hearts losing a match?
yeah.
That's
To be
true,
fair, they'll still come up. Surely, I think after this they only need one more win.
Yeah.
Don't they?
They'll come up, yeah. 100%.
And then, I tell you what, that is a wee bit soft, isn't it? The penalty. I don't know. I've just seen the
keep
replay.
the lunges in.
What was I saying? Wraith have a game in hand though, so I don't know
It's
how.
true. Because they're down less than 10, I think.
Yes. Yeah, I think they're game in hands against Queen of the South. So no. I don't know. Either way, it's a win-win. I mean, if Hearts come up, we get the derby back.
Sorry,
If
like,
we don't-
better for-
No,
better
because
for
the
football.
derby is always 3.6 points to Hearts.
No,
I mean, yeah, but have you seen the state they're in though? I mean,
it's Hearts win at Easter Road and Hibs win at
Yeah, but you
Tynecastle.
always make it
That's
difficult. You always make it difficult.
it was
Like-
like no, for ages it was always the other way around. It was always or
Who
well,
won the last derby then?
Hearts did.
well Hearts.
Correct. That's the point.
No, but we're saying like the past 2 seasons it's been really weird because we've won all the derbies at Tynecastle, and they've won all the ones at Easter Road, which is really strange.
The rumours circulated that Eddie Howe will be joining Celtic. The rumours that he'd been up here, had talks with the club, but then Crystal Palace and Newcastle have swooped in and they've been linked elsewhere. Eddie Howe did say he's been there's been rumours that he's been looking at Marvin Bartley as part of his coaching staff, who he's worked with at Bournemouth. Obviously, he's been a key part of Livingston's season. But now
He is
it looks
also
like,
doing all his coaching licenses.
yeah, it does look like Eddie Howe will not be going to Celtic, despite the odds being very much in his favour. Did you want to take this?
I mean, it was inevitable. Celtic fans just can't get any good news at the moment, and it's almost like I feel a bit used. He's used Celtic to window shop for better jobs. So the interest comes, Celtic come knocking, and then other clubs go, well, we know he's available and he's talking to clubs. We'll just offer him, we'll ask him what they offered, and we'll just offer a bit more, hoping that he joins us. And, you just wish that Celtic could just wrap these things up quicker before it became an issue. But that's never the case, because
it's been linked with the job for a long time.
He's been linked with the job since last time we were looking for a manager, actually. Like they thought they could prize him away from Bournemouth when the results started slipping. So it's not even the first time. Celtic have had his number in their book for a while. They've just been too slow to act. They should have gone straight away when Newcastle and Crystal Palace and teams weren't thinking about the end of the season. And they should have just acted when Lennon left, given plenty time to settle a squad, new manager, turn around everything. And sadly, that's not happened. And it's just led to sort of the players as well are going to think, but like the board have absolutely buggered this for them. Like, it's just not a good result.
Scott Brown's gone off to Aberdeen, isn't he? At the end of
Well, he's probably exactly. He probably said, "Well, the club have no vision for the future, so I'm just I'm going. See ya."
Yeah, he didn't say that in an interview. That's one of the reasons why.
He said on, I think his PR people came out and said, like, they're not future planning. That Celtic don't have a future with Scott Brown planned in it, so that's why he is on his way out.
Eddie Howe is,
like, how hard is it to
plan to have I'd say a club legend as part of the coaching setup?
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't get a coaching setup, to be honest. But what is there available? Obviously, there's manager available, but what else is there available?
Well, I mean, when Lennon left, a lot of the backroom staff also did as well. So
I think John Kennedy is kind of running on bare bones staff at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, he's like they've cut down the number of training sessions per week by I think they're reducing the amount of total training sessions they have. There's no goalkeeping coach. There's I think there's only like 2 coaches other than Kennedy remaining. And they're just, Gavin Strachan, Gordon Strachan's son, has been taking up the reins, doing all the behind-the-scenes work, which, they're just running on absolute fumes.
I'm surprised, to be honest, right, because obviously the power of the midfield that Scott Brown did have, or still does as a player, I'm surprised he didn't get offers for Celtic as a midfielding coach.
Yeah, I thought he'd maybe take a role with the youth team, but it seems that the club just didn't offer him anything. It's not that he didn't want to stay. He wasn't offered anything. There was no reason for him to stay.
Yeah, surprising.
Which is surprising. I mean, Scott Brown is a man who won a trophy every 28 matches at Celtic. And if they'd won the league this season, that would have been a phenomenal trophy every 25 matches, that's Pep Guardiola levels of success.
Yeah, that is like peak Barcelona levels. That's just insane. But Eddie Howe's still the favourite in the odds, but his numbers have slipped a bit. Palace are circling because.
However, we discussed a potential Eddie Howe, if the deal falls through, management option, and that's Lucien Favre, and that would be a very welcome addition for me.
He is second in the odds. He was sacked by Borussia Dortmund early on in the season, but he's been at Dortmund. He's managed Haaland and Sancho, and he's moving on to manage Christie and Forest. So downgrade and a half.
Hey, don't you dare insult Ryan Christie. He can take.
We're comparing him to who?
Sancho and Haaland.
You can insult James Forrest for his attitude problems, but at least Christie, he tries every game to score just an absolute FIFA banger.
We're comparing him to Erling Haaland.
I know. It's just Ryan Christie will, unless he can get those FIFA bangers scored, then he's not.
Ryan Christie will never be as good as Erling Haaland. Is what you trying to say?
Haaland does it like twice a week.
I know. I think that's what he's trying to emulate.
Oh,
He's
I don't know if you guys saw as well. Did you see? It's going on about Erling Haaland a wee bit. I'm not going to drift off too much, but you see, like the referee came up to him and he asked for his signature.
Yeah.
it was
He's
a
pretty-
linesman. Aye.
Yeah, linesman. Yeah.
You know the story behind that. That linesman apparently collects signatures for famous footballers and then auctions them out and gives them money to charity.
Oh, that's
Oh, wow.
very wholesome.
Absolutely class. Top man.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Oh, John Kennedy to take over apparently is 11-1 at the moment.
11-1.
Painfully high.
But you have got names like Jesse Marsh, Frank Lampard, Chris Wilder, Carlos Queiroz, and Roy Keane, who have better odds.
I think Jesse Morris has already ruled himself out of the potential job. He did say, "Hey, I'm flattered with the connection, but it's not for me."
Was Roy
That's a
Keane
really
saying anything?
polite way of saying no way.
Yeah, it's
I'm
Roy
like
Keane
flattered,
saying anything about
he's
it?
flattered a club the size of Celtic would be interested in him, but he's
But
looking
he's-
at different career opportunities.
Yeah,
is what
that's
he
just
said.
a
Like
really
saying
polite
it-
way of saying no.
Red Bull Salzburg, who are better.
Yeah.
Celtic are not in a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did Roy Keane say anything about the job?
No. He's
It's
kept
just been-
quiet.
It's just been Martin O'Neill who's been bigging him up for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's happened?
Roy Keane's been relatively quiet though.
It would be one for the Celtic Daz, wouldn't it? Like, oh
Yeah,
yeah.
that's an absolute Celtic Da appointment, but
Yeah.
Celtic Da is the reason we're in this mess. So
Is it though?
yeah,
I would
Well,
say
Neil
it's
Lennon
Lennon's
was at
fault, but
Celtic.
Neil Lennon is the definition of a Celtic da. So
yeah, but it was Celtic Daz who pushed to have him instated as the manager. They thought he did such a good job barely winning the cup that he should be full-time manager.
He'll let the players know what he thinks of him. Like,
Yeah,
that
He'll-
kind of thing,
bring in that bite to the squad, but
He'll
he
bring
didn't.
that passion.
He absolutely taught them how to lie down and just give in.
What did he get sacked for previously in his first?
And he left halfway through. He pulled a Brendan Rodgers to go to Bolton, who are currently 15th in the Championship. Got relegated with Bolton, led them to complete financial ruin, and then yeah. And
What
then,
a guy this Lennon is.
we got Ronnie Dylan. So he
Get him back.
Brendan Rodgers does. I don't think that's talked about enough. Because
Bring
he
back Dahlia though. He's funny.
He's held
Can we just have? Can we have a season where Hearts have got Levine or
Levine.
Robbie Nielsen? Either one, right? No, Yeah.
Hearts just
We
juggle
can-
between Levine and Nielsen, don't they?
we can have
If we all-
either.
if we all have games on like April Fool's Day, and we'll happily take back Kashinya.
I was gonna say
Oh,
Rangers.
Cassina. No, it's got to be John Carver. John Carver or bust.
Just for one game in April.
I think
April
Pedro
1st.
Caixinha was more of a me than John Carver.
I was gonna say Aberdeen, McInnes. We'd have Hecky, obviously. Hearts, Levine, and then Kashinya and Dyla. Or
Oh
Lennon.
yes,
I
great
don't know
match.
which one's a bigger meme at this point, but
Oh,
Dyla-
what? No, Dyla wasn't a bad manager.
I mean, if Aberdeen were any good, they would have won. What was it? That they were top of the league, and then
Yeah, but
fair,
Celtic were in absolute free fall back then as well because, like, I mean, the old firm accounts for about half the money they make per season in TV money because just no games were broadcast. So the financial advantage was just gone.
Wasn't the
and-
final straw of Dyla's Celtic job was getting beaten in the semi-final?
Losing the penalty shootout. That was his. He let.
be
But to
fair-
be fair, he walked away. He lost one old firm, and he walked away. Lennon lost 3 in a row and refused to leave. That was what embarrassing.
Yeah.
I was saying, to be fair to Hecky, I'm saying he would be our meme manager. Like,
Yeah.
we did have a half of a good season under him. So I think Terry Butcher, the main man who got us relegated, would be the biggest meme for us. But I don't know.
Talking of memes, Neil Doncaster has come out today and said that he doesn't want to expand the Premiership, but he is looking into expanding the 4th tier, and that any proposal to that he's looking into and discussing with the Dutch and Belgian leagues whether to join their big league in a proposed Atlantic League, but
Wait, what?
I thought you were going to say.
What?
I thought you were going to say like they're inviting for like new clubs to like start up, so we could get like a false '90s team going.
yeah. So there has been apparently news that that he's in contact with Eredivisie and the Belgian Pro League.
You guys want to get pumped off Ajax every week?
Wait, no, that's
to start an
serious. Are you
Atlantic
actually
League,
serious?
but that was brought forward first by the PSV Eindhoven president, but Neil Doncaster hasn't said anything. He's basically said
That is an absolute joke.
It'll be difficult to combine leagues because of the European classes and how UEFA would combine them. But I do think UEFA is more open-minded to mergers of leagues as a potential way to bridging the polarisation of wealth in the European football that we've seen in recent years.
To be fair, I mean, we're a bit on par with the Dutch and Belgian leagues, I would say. I think the Dutch league is one place above us in coefficient, Belgian's one below or something. So it's not...
No, but are you saying that you'd want to have to get a flight for most of your away days?
Of course not.
Yeah,
of course
class.
that would...
No.
I'm saying I was about to joke about like a merger between like they're going on about this shite with the Northumbrian independence movement. So if the north of England went independent, the Scottish League merged with them, so you'd get Newcastle and
no, but then Man United and
Leeds.
City would just dominate. You'd just get City winning the league every year. No, fuck that.
He's also said Scotland's difficulty is a geographic one. Our nearest neighbours are the English Premiership, who are financially light years ahead of us. The challenge is how you work more closely with leagues around you, so that are so different in financial scale. But that's a challenge a number of us in Scottish football are working on. So
I'm up for
come out and denied that he's in talks.
Yeah.
No, I'm up for cooperation, but I think
merging that'd just be insane. But also
that's not a merger. Yeah,
that's an utter joke. Like
maybe cooperation in terms of like trying to fucking stick it to UEFA and get us better qualifying places in Europe and stuff, but not merging our leagues. That's
I think some sort of like the cooperation between all these leagues, like Portuguese league as well, would be another one to get on in the act and actually say to UEFA, because I think a lot of the time UEFA are very top 5 league centric. So just to say to them,
they exactly are.
Money as well.
Yeah, but just to say to them, make some sort of alliance. Belgian league, Dutch league, Portuguese league, Scottish league. Austrian league, whatever,
league, that kind of thing,
and say, stop being so capitalistic, like putting all the money at the top. I think it should be spread out a bit more. It should be easier for clubs like Ajax and Celtic to get into the Champions League and Rangers. This is some waffle we're going on though. I don't know how the conversation's gotten to this point, but
yeah, I just saw this article as I was looking at.
That's funny.
Like he hasn't come out and explicitly denied that happened, which is insane. He's looking into expanding the fourth tier. He doesn't want to expand the Premiership because apparently having a 12-team Premiership means there's more big games rather than having.
Well, you know what he means when he says that. He means that they can have 4 Old Firms a season.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because that's what he means when he says you can have more. Because you could actually have more big games if you have a 16-team league. Because then you could have more derbies. You could have Edinburgh Derby, Dundee Derby, Highland Derby.
Exactly.
But when he says big games, he literally just
care. Everything is just big team centric though. That's the problem. It's money. Money makes the world talk.
It's Old Firm centric. We want 4 Old Firms a season.
No, but I mean it's the same with it's the same with every league. They just want the big matches. Like Sky Sports only play ever nowadays. They've sold all their Burnley versus Newcastles just so they could only show the top 6 games on the telly. That's all they care about.
Why stunt the development of the whole league in terms of like how many teams you've got in it? Because it would be a better league. I mean,
I don't think they care about the development of the league.
Because they don't. Because they genuinely don't. They do just care about the Old Firm. So, yeah, for like a club like us who are on the up to try and build ourselves, it's a.
Does Sky not have an agreement though with showing the Edinburgh Derby as well? Though that's always
they do. They do show the Edinburgh Derby. Aye.
Yeah.
But I don't think there's an agreement as there is with
but like,
the Old
with
Firm.
like the Old Firm makes
Well, yeah,
It's like,
Really.
of course. Yeah.
behind the Old Firm, we're probably the most marketable derby in the league. But still,
Yeah.
I mean, it's nothing compared to the Old Firm in terms of viewership.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
it's hard to market a derby where the teams are across leagues. Same with Dundee derby, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I reckon if there is Dundee derby in the Premiership again, that was so difficult to say. Dundee derby, yeah. I reckon if there is one in the Premiership again, that would generate something, and then same with if there's a Highland derby like with Ross County Heat and Kelly.
Even the wee ones, like if you had Ayr Killy.
Exactly, yeah. If there's-
Ayr have been close to getting up a couple times. They've been at the high end of the Championship a couple times actually.
Yeah.
Not crazy to think that.
Even like Dunfermline Wraith.
Exactly, yeah. But obviously, that's all not on the same level as
The Dunfermline used to be Premiership regulars.
Dunfermline,
Yeah,
aye,
Dunfermline. I remember that. Yeah,
aye.
I was just a wee laddie.
They're a decent sized club.
All right, don't toot their horn too much.
No, they are though.
I mean, Dunfermline is I think it's the biggest town in Fife, right? Or maybe Kirkcaldy's a bit bigger. But
Dunfermline's the biggest town, aye. But no,
and they got a
Dunfermline,
nice cathedral.
they
But
still get about 4,000 on average as attendance.
yeah,
which
no,
is
Fife football's no
higher than plenty Premiership teams.
exactly.
You know, like,
There's
Hamilton.
like all the clubs round out Glasgow, St Mirren, Hamilton. I mean, you could put them on the same level in history. Like
I'd say
Fife teams
Hamilton.
always
I
have
think
good
St.
cup runs.
St. Mirren have won a league though, so
Yeah, but Fife teams always have good cup runs. I think Dunfermline have won a league as well, potentially.
They will have
They have,
at some
I
point,
think so.
and maybe like a Scottish Cup here or there. Yeah. Do we have a quiz tonight, by the way?
Yes, we do. We do.
Yes,
have a
we
quiz, because
Alright.
there have been calls this week over Ryan Gould and his place in the Scotland squad for his good performances
Oh,
at
damn.
Firenze. In
Oh, is that
Portugal.
team that's storming up the Portuguese league?
Yeah. So no, it's not. That's a different Portuguese team.
Oh, okay.
Can't remember their name. Famalicão. That's it.
For Famalicão, yeah.
Firenze are near the bottom of the Premiership, but Ryan Gould is single-handedly scored. I think it's 9 goals in 25 appearances this season from attacking midfield. And there's
Glad he's coming good.
There's calls to put him in the Scotland squad because he's pretty much single-handedly saving Firenze from relegation. So the quiz this week is on Scots, foreign-based Scots.
Oh, I like that.
Ooh, interesting.
There's quite a few questions for this.
Is Ryan Gould
I'm
not
gonna be
just the
rubbish about
Scottish
it.
Eric Dyer, or is Eric Dyer the
When we
English
say-
Ryan Gould?
When we say foreign, do we mean playing in England?
We mean outside the entire British Isles because
So
there's so many Scots playing in England.
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
It doesn't really
I'm
count.
going to be so bad at
It
this.
would just be a Ryan Fraser themed quiz.
Yeah, if it was, yeah, but it isn't. So we'll start with first question. So Graham Dorrans and Kelly Minner are player and assistant coach respectively at which A-League club?
Newcastle Jets.
Nope.
No.
Melbourne Victory,
No.
Melbourne
Uh,
City. No, no.
Sydney FC.
Close.
Western Sydney
Western-
Wanderers.
Sydney Wanderers.
Western Sydney. I got it. There you go.
Yeah. There you go.
Jeez, okay.
So also at Western Sydney Wanderers is a former Hamilton player, Ziggy Gordon.
Yeah.
Oh,
He's also
He played for
He's also played
Okay.
24 times for 2 clubs in which other European country?
Romania.
No.
What? Was it no Steaua Bucharest?
No, it wasn't. No.
No.
Bulgaria.
No. You're in the kind of right part of Europe. though.
Greece.
A bit more north.
Serbia.
A bit more north.
Poland.
Oh,
Croatia.
Poland, yeah.
Poland. Poland's nowhere near.
Nowhere near.
He's still Eastern Europe, isn't it? He's played for Jagiellonia Białystok and Pogoń
God.
Kielce.
Nice.
Ziggy is
Białystok. That's the team that we signed Patrick Klimala from. If you Białystok.
Yeah. Do you want me to-
If
Hmm.
blast from the past.
Yeah.
Poor Polish Paddy rotting on the bench.
His actual full name is Zygmunt. He's got a Polish mother, so that's probably why his name is his name.
Oh, that makes sense.
So Jack Harper spent 8 years in the youth academies at
Malaga.
Real
Malaga.
Madrid and Brighton, but which La Liga team's B team is he at now?
Malaga.
No, they're not in La Liga.
Wait, what?
Malaga aren't in La Liga.
Yeah, Malaga and
I want to say it's Real Sociedad.
nah.
Is it not Getafe?
Villarreal?
Yeah, he is at Villarreal's B team.
Oh,
He's also
Villarreal.
on loan from Getafe.
All right.
Wait, he's being loaned to a B team from Getafe.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
his
he's at
stats.
He's at
Had
Getafe, but he's been loaned out to Villarreal B.
I thought, like, if he was with Malaga in the second league, I thought he could do something better than Villarreal B. You know,
Yeah, I thought
that seems like
so,
he's
maybe
been in a bit of a free fall. I mean, Getafe have had was it Granada? No, it's Granada have had the good season this season, not Getafe.
Yeah, Granada into quarterfinals of the Europa League, aren't they? So
Yeah.
so we got that one. I think give a point to both of you because you got Villarreal and Getafe. So there's currently one Scottish player in the entirety of the French football pyramid, and that's 19-year-old striker Thomas Garnier. Which tier of French football does he play in?
The
Fourth.
second,
It's not 2 or 4, no.
third.
Is it the third?
It's not third.
Oh my God, Thomas Garnier,
Sixth.
top tier, League One. Is it a trick
It's
question?
not a League On, no.
Sixth.
You've said every number except this one.
Fifth.
Fifth Marcus got it first. He plays in National 3 for Le Monde 2. He's only played 4 games in the past 2 seasons because both of those seasons were finished early because of so in 1920 and 2021 he's only played 4 games.
How do we even know that he exists?
He hasn't got a Wikipedia page, but I think it's on Soccer Base or something. He's got a page on that, so he does exist. I think that's National 3 is the lowest level you can get before you get to like the regional amateur divisions. He's also on Le Mans second team, so he's probably contracted to actual Le Mans. I think are higher up. I'm not sure whereabouts they are. So there are currently 3 Scottish players in Italy. So there's Aaron Hickey at Bologna, Liam Henderson at Lecce, and Harvey Sinclair, who's at Venezia. Bologna.
One Scots abroad.
Yeah.
So who this season has the most goals and assists?
Oh, it's got to be Big Hendo.
It is Hendo.
Yeah. He's
Liam Henderson has 3 goals and 7 assists this season.
Of course he does.
Aaron Hickey has
bit of a creator.
0 goals and 0 assists. And
How many appearances for Hickey?
He has made quite a few appearances. I think he has about 25 appearances.
All right, not too bad.
And Harvey Sinclair has scored 0 goals and has given 0 assists. So he's the only one to actually do anything this season in Italy.
Yeah.
Well, next question number 6, I think it is. Which Turkish club is Stevie Malin on loan at?
Oh God.
Oh my God! It's Yeni Malatyaspor.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
Something like that. Fuck.
I saw that move in January. That was a weird one because Stevie Malin always brings the goods on FIFA.
Oh, that's so you reckon that's how they've scouted him?
Yeah.
I thought I'd butcher that name, by the way. I was petrified.
That was actually pretty good. Better than I
Do you think? Probably no. Nah. Good.
Kenny Dalglish's son Paul, who's played for Blackpool, Norwich, Livingston, and Hibs in his playing career, currently manages in which country?
Oh no.
Belgium.
No. I think it's a second division team in this country, but the city they're in also has a first division team.
Oh. Feyenoord. Rotterdam.
It's not a country, and it's not the right country anyway.
In Netherlands.
I want to see the US.
It is the US, yeah.
Oh.
Is it Miami?
Yeah, so he's managing at Miami FC.
Really?
And obviously into
Ah.
Miami
Oh,
when he
right.
arrives.
Yeah, I knew he went somewhere like that in the US, but
He's actually
Just
got quite a
club,
good
innit?
record as well. So if any Scottish teams want to take a punt on him, then go for it because he's got a pretty good managerial record. And final question: how many clean sheets has Jack Hendry kept at Oostende this season in Belgium?
7.
5.
8.
You're all so close.
6.
6, yeah, Andy got it first.
No way.
25
I think this is Andy's
this
first
season,
quiz win, eh?
6
I know.
clean sheets. And this quiz, Marcus finished bottom with 2 points.
Good.
Classic shite Marcus.
Kyle with 3 points, and Andy, you got 4.
Hey.
Not too bad.
First ever quiz one.
Predictions.
Aye, first ever quiz
Yeah,
champion.
right. So there's been a bit of drama, gentlemen, in the predictions. I was speaking to Sam yesterday about it. So I'll just go for every individual game, right? So Ross County and Inverness obviously finished 3-1 in Inverness. Andy was the only one to get a point for that. And then I'm going to butcher this. Was it Dunfermline? Who played Hearts?
Yeah, it was Dunfermline.
Dunfermline.
Uh,
Obviously finished in a 0-0 draw. I managed to get a point for that. And Aberdeen game, Andy got the score bang on.
Of course it did.
Yeah. And then none for the Ball Rangers game. And 4 for Edinburgh City. Still obviously finished 4-4 on penalties, so I managed to get a point for that. Squeaky wee point in there. None of you got any of that. All got points for the Motherwell game.
okay.
There's been a couple shared. I'm not going to spoil it anymore, but there was a couple 4-pointers in the Livingston Wraith game. Couple on a few others, but I'm not going to spoil it because this is quite a big drama. So I'll just go over the final scores. Marcus, have you got your spreadsheet up to mark this as well, right?
Yes,
yeah, Marcus, spread your sheet.
Okay. So finishing last was Lewis with no points because he didn't give his predictions in.
All right.
Sam with 4. Marcus with 8.
Oh.
Myself with 10.
Hey!
Andy with 19. 19.
Won the gloves. It's because I'm a realist.
It actually
19
proves when you
points.
actually send in your
So-
predictions, you get them right.
So, yeah.
Told you I'm not
Listen to
stupider than
this, right?
Jupiter.
So this has changed so much. Lewis at the bottom with 15, Sam with 25, Marcus with 29, Andy with 30, and myself on 40. Andy's jumped from bottom to second.
One week.
prediction.
Wait,
Look.
we should both be on 39. Yeah?
How?
You should be on bloody 0, Marcus.
I was on 28, you were on 26. You got 10, I got 8.
I feel like what you just said didn't maths up, but
So 36, and then Cal's on 36 as well.
Uh-huh.
So we're both on 36. Or
Because it's
what?
29 and
How can you be
30,
on
isn't it?
36?
I'm on 28, or according to last week, I'm on 28.
Whatever.
we'll figure
Yeah, she
the
could be right, yeah, she could be
technicalities.
right. Yeah.
Figure this out after.
You're right.
Okay.
Call me
I'm
weak.
very. Someone else do this.
Look, for your cheek, Marcus, you're on fucking 0. Alright.
I must have added up your scores wrong, Marcus.
Sorry.
We'll sort it out.
Yeah.
Anyway, this weekend it's the return of the Premiership. It feels like ages since we've actually
Thank
played
God.
Premiership games because we had the international break and the Scottish Cup. So it's actually the start of the split as well.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll start at Celtic Park. We've got 5 games on Saturday. So we'll start at Celtic Park for Celtic versus Livy.
Hey, oh, it's our bogey team.
2-0 Celtic.
Oh, early with the predictions.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll join you on that. I'll join you. No, we always concede. Christopher Julian always gets run ragged by those Livy. It'll be 2-1 Celtic.
Okay.
I'm going to go 1-1.
Oh.
Livy always seem to get a result against Celtic, so
I must go for a draw. I'm going to say 2 each.
oof. Next up, from the bottom half of the split, we've got Hamilton versus Dundee United.
1-0 Dundee United.
I'm going to say 2-0 Dundee United.
But they're not very good at scoring.
Yes, just
yes,
the one.
it's
Yeah,
get me.
Hamilton are shit, so
Just the one.
That's hard to call.
I
probably.
think it's 1-1 for me. Sorry, I jumped in there.
Oh, that's no worries. I'm gonna say. I'm actually gonna agree with you, Andy. I'm gonna say one each.
Because Hamilton haven't,
Just because Dundee are poor and Hamilton are poor.
Hamilton haven't really haven't turned on their let's escape relegation form yet. So
No, exactly.
They'll leave it
Just
till
wait.
after
Wait
games.
till the split. You got to wait till the split. That's when they turn on their charm.
This is the split.
Oh, it's the first match of the split. Well,
That changes everything. So I need to go with your first. I need to go with your first answer. I'm sorry.
yeah, no, it's fine. But that's a good result for them. Getting a draw, and then they'll get 5 wins, and then
A draw
what
and
they're like.
5 wins in the split.
yeah,
Okay.
in all 5 games of
In
the
all
split.
5 games.
next up we've got Killy versus Ross County.
Oh dear. I'm
2-1.
expecting 2-1 to who?
A 2-1 Kelly.
Ooh.
I'm gonna say 2-0 Kelly. Laugh at you with a couple.
Oh.
Yeah, Ross County have embarrassed themselves by being knocked out the cup, so I think Killy could actually pull themselves off the bottom of the table here.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, second bottom at the moment. Hamilton at the bottom. But I'm gonna say Ross County are gonna bounce back from that Scottish Cup loss with a 1-0 win.
Oh. Okay. It's that Kelly, isn't it?
Is that Killy? Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just shoots left.
No, I said I think Ross County will Killy will beat Ross County from there. 1-0. Let's say 1-0.
Who's getting the
So
goal? Big laugh.
Aye, big Kyle, big staunch Kyle.
Oh yes, you know it.
Which one?
Which one?
Everybody knows a big staunch Kyle.
Oh yes. Oh,
Which one
yes.
right now? We've also got Motherwell versus St Mirren.
That's a tough one to call that. I think Miller will get the win, but St Mirren will make it tough. So
This will be
I'm
1-1.
gonna.
Marcus diving straight in there.
Okay,
Yeah.
Marcus.
Yeah. I'm incorporating.
I think Mother win 2-1.
Oof.
I think
That's
it-
4-0 Hearts.
Oh, that's depressing.
Oh, embarrassing.
Who scored again? Was it Boyce again?
Yeah.
He's got a hat trick.
Yep.
Not
A
bad.
sad way to end this near the end of the podcast. Hearts. I'm gonna say St Mirren are gonna win this one 2-1.
Okay. Andy?
I think St Mirren to win 3-0. You know
Wow.
what? Yeah,
Lewis is not going to like you.
I know, but bit of a Paisley derby, East Glasgow derby. You know, it has to be. Has to go one way.
You get this correct.
Motherwell
That's
St
fair
Mirren
enough.
is the Paisley derby.
Paisley derby.
Look, I don't know my outer suburbs of Glasgow, right? So
Clearly.
You support a Glasgow team though.
yeah.
Yeah, but he knows Parkhead though. He knows Parkhead. That's about it.
No, to be fair, I'm actually far more familiar with the West End of Glasgow, ironically, just because I've got a lot of pals that live around there.
Fair enough.
But yeah, no, I think. Oh no, it's fucking Partick Thistle St Mirren. That's a derby, isn't it?
How do you get mixed up between Partick and Motherwell?
Look, I'm tired.
Partick.
Shut up.
Isn't that-
Shut up.
Motherwell's
Clyde.
derby. Are they not with Greenock Morton or some shit like that?
No, it's
What?
Hamilton,
No.
surprisingly.
Hamilton.
You've
That's
got it. You've got it all the way wrong.
Did you really forgot about that derby?
Look, Edinburgh is the most important city in Scotland
Says
So
the
why are you a
Celtic
Celtic fan then?
because my whole family
my
are from
God,
Glasgow.
Greenock is St Mirren, Hamilton is Motherwell, and St Mirren.
Greenock St Mirren.
Greenock St Mirren.
Yeah, Greenock St
The
Mirren.
Ayrshire one's Killy Ayr.
Yeah.
Greenock is in Ayr. Sure.
Greenock is in Inverclyde, which used to be part of Renfrewshire.
Your
hence
maw's in
why-
Inverclyde.
Yeah, no, but hence why it used to be Renfrewshire, which is why St Mirren Greenock
Oh,
is the
that makes
Renfrewshire
sense,
derby,
Yeah.
and Clyde and Partick is a derby because Clyde used to be for Glasgow, so that used to be a Glasgow derby.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yes.
2 more games, I think, is to go.
Yeah, 2 more games. Another one Saturday. We've got St Johnstone versus Aberdeen.
Oh damn! I'm gonna say 1-0 St Johnstone.
Yeah, I think I'm going to agree with you on that, Marcus.
Yeah.
The Johnson are fire, and Aberdeen are not.
For the meme, I'm going to whip out the 5-5 for the show.
Oh,
It's definitely not
Aberdeen
gonna
can't
happen.
score, so
Aberdeen
I think
can't
it's...
score.
Aberdeen can't score.
Yeah.
St Johnstone are just meh, but I'm just going to whip it out anyway.
St Johnstone are doing well. To be fair, they're not just men.
Oh, Sam, don't pull out your 5-5, not in front of the kids.
You always pull out your 5-5 on the next game, mate.
Nah, I'm using it on this one.
Is that next week's Old Firm?
No.
No, because
No, that's the 13th. Old Firm's the 13th, isn't it? Right?
Well, the 13th
No.
of May.
No.
Are you
This
mad
is
on a Tuesday night?
The Old Firm.
Are you feeling all right?
On the second, the Old Firm is on the 2nd of May.
Yeah, that's it. No, the coupled firm is in April. It's
It's
like
next
the
week.
18th.
It's
Yeah.
next week.
17.
Why would it be on a
17th,
fucking
okay.
Tuesday?
I
It's the
don't know.
9th today.
You're on a Tuesday.
Why would they make an Old Firm on... Never mind. I'm not even going to argue, man. It's just... Old Firm on a Tuesday night. What is going on?
I mean, it could happen.
Well, to be fair, it doesn't matter what day it's on because there's no fans.
That's true.
I mean, it could be on a Tuesday night if we got each other in
Tuesday
the Europa
night.
League.
Tuesday
or
Old
something,
Firm. People
so-
should be drinking all day. That's what's going to happen in the Cup anyway. Just drinking all day because it's like a late kick-off. But anyway, that's next week. We've still got a game this week, so...
So we're done
And I'm sorry for your predictions for the St Johnstone Aberdeen.
Oh yeah, St Johnson to win 2-0.
Okay.
Really compound that crushing realization on Aberdeen that they're shite.
And secure third for us.
And on Sunday
Oh,
is Rangers versus Hibs.
here's a big one.
Kyle versus Marcus.
Okay, so
Come on, just say it. Go for it.
let's do a wee bit of discussion. A wee bit.
Yeah, let's.
Okay, so how many? Who's out for Rangers? Because I know you got some people out.
You're really
It's
dragging
as
this
of
out.
now, Tavernier and Katic at the moment.
And
Just the
Jack.
two of them.
And
Think
Ryan
so.
Jack.
Ryan Jack, yeah.
I wasn't. Katic has been out all season though, pretty much. So that's
Yeah.
not much. Okay. All right, so that's still your full strength squad, pretty much. Apart from Jack, but you can just put in Davis, have a midfielder Davis like.
Playing unbelievable this season.
Aye. Right. I think in the games this season, it's usually been
Close.
Rangers nicking it 1-0. I can actually see Rangers nicking it 1-0 again, but am I gonna predict Hibs to lose? So it's gonna be
Bear in mind it's at Ibrox or something.
Is
yeah,
that
I know.
right?
It's gonna be 3-2 Hibs.
Okay.
'Cause
Andy,
why not?
Oh, look, I don't like to say this, but I think Rangers are going to win 2-1.
You say
I
Rangers
like-
going to win?
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
wow.
why I don't like to do this.
Wow. Okay.
What?
I'm surprised that you say that. 'Cause
Look,
you
I mean-
thought Rangers were going to lose against Cove Rangers, but now you think Rangers are going to win against Hibs.
Look, I'm a realist.
What?
You know,
Clearly, man.
I like to
clearly.
subvert expectation.
I mean, to be honest, you didn't get the best predictions last
If
week,
I'd given
so-
a realistic prediction,
Oh, yeah,
last week,
Cove
it
Rangers
would-
win on penalties. I think Rangers won this
All right, Kathleen Kennedy.
Right, go on, man. Go say predictions.
I am going to say.
No, Andy hasn't given us a score yet.
Okay.
Well, yeah, I think Rangers win 2-1.
Fair.
I'm going to say Rangers 1-0.
Are you?
As Marcus
for real?
said, because Rangers always nick it 1-0.
Yeah, but you're a Hibs fan.
Yeah,
It's
but I'm also
3-2.
a realist, so.
It's 3-2 Hibs written all over it.
Right, I'm going to go a wee backstory now, right? So, obviously, the past couple of games against Hibs have been difficult. Hibs have been a really good side. But, obviously, they've been at home the last game, and they did give us a run for the money. But I'm not saying this, but most teams sit in Ibrox. I think Hibs will do the same and hit us on the counter.
Well, we do it, but we do it well. Like we still actually attack you when we get the ball instead of just getting it away at the halfway line.
true.
Yeah, have you seen
so-
our defence this season, Marcus?
Sorry.
Have you seen our defence this season?
I mean, yeah, but Rangers haven't run riot against us in any game this season. It'll be another tight one.
Yeah.
And like when our defense wants to be compact, they can be. So,
So
as long as we bring
for
McGregor back.
that, I'm going to say it'll be a tight 2-0 Rangers. But again, it could go either way. It could go. It could go. Rangers could win comfortably, or Rangers could win. Just nick it. I don't think it's a possibility if I was winning, but that's just me being a Rangers fan.
Alright, so that's the end of the games this week and also the end of the podcast. So thank you guys for joining me today. We'll see you again next week.
See ya.
See you later.
See ya.
Cue the
Later,
tune.
Skeeter.
The False 90s podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Podbean, and our website at false90s.wordpress.com. For updates, follow False 90s on both Twitter and Instagram. And a big thank you to Fransisco Aluear and his track Space Game, which is our theme tune.
No, I'm not saying this salty or anything. I'm just trying to sort it out because I was confused because I had a different thing.
Yeah, you're probably right. I'm shit at maths, mate. I didn't pass maths higher.
Right, so
Same here.
yeah, same.
Actually, I got a C at higher maths, but barely, and then
Oh,
I
you
was
passed
told.
it. So
But
shut up.
I failed Nat 5, which they let me do higher. So
What?
I guess that's more embarrassing that I failed Nat 5.
You failed math.
You
I passed
failed
math.
Nat 5, but you passed higher.
Yeah,
That's fucked up.
we were taught maths by a Spanish teacher.
You should be allowed to take maths if you didn't take that 5. That's fucked up. What fucking school you go to?
Balerno. It's
I've never heard of it.
It's a shithole.